So we're covering some of the trauma, oh yeah, parenting styles. But I wanted to ask too, did you need me to watch the last half of Paper Tigers here so we can finish it up?
I watched it with us on YouTube.
Okay. Were you? Oh yeah, that's right. But I still haven't done this last piece, so you need me to do the last piece for you because that's the paper that's due tonight. Just like, all right, cool. So we'll have this. Yeah, the next discussion is about parenting styles, and if you had authoritative, authoritarian, uninvolved, or a permissive parent, and then kind of how that affects you. But we can go over that after the movie because I want to make sure I have to leave right at 2:50 again as I got to run down to Lebanon. So I think that's all we have left.
And then
now.
people telling me all the shit she's been saying, like it never stops. She's still gonna be my life. You can take me away to Africa.
Yep.
I will still hear about her accent.
Okay.
It's going to take some time. I mean, that's a really heavy, difficult situation, and like we've talked about in this conversation, there's not going to be a time where it's just done and over.
I know, and that's how I feel like it's never going to end. It's always going to be something.
So being able to manage it is going to be a combination of learning to accept what is out of our control and to focus on the parts of your life that is in your control. And the more you focus on the positive stuff that you do have in the direction that you want to go and all of that, the easier it is to let go of the other. It'll always be there, it'll always suck, but it doesn't have to swallow up your whole life.
Yeah, they have everybody in the school take the ACEs questionnaire. Adverse childhood experiences, just to see which ones we have that we need to work on. That's the idea.
It was a hard weekend all around. There was a big video that was posted over the weekend that had two girls fighting, and it was videotaped by, I swear to God, 90% of our student body. If you go on Facebook, here's the video. It was over a boy with all boys standing around instigating this. And it's like a 3-minute video. I don't know if you've ever been in a fight. 3 minutes in a fight is quite a while. The heart-wrenching part for me was watching it, and these girls not understanding that they're the cock in the cockfight, that they're the pit bull in the dogfight, and being used for the entertainment of these guys. I mean, it's just sick, man. Sick.
We've been getting in a lot of arguments and stuff. I have a temper. I have a huge temper.
But then you tell me I'm gonna break the floor. Make up your mind.
And he has huge anger issues, so it's like when we get into an argument, it's not good.
Recently, we've been having more downs and ups. We're at those points of like breaking up, like almost once or twice a day.
I don't know, he just kind of freaks out when I'm away from him. I don't know what it is, it's that it's always happening there.
I'm not around her for like a half hour. I'm going crazy. I'm calling her, texting her. I'm like run around the school like 80 times looking for her. I'm like, where the hell are you looking? What happened? We can't be separated.
Teen love. When I talk with the guys and we start talking about, why do you have to check your phone? Why do you have to do all these things? We had the discussions seeing this pattern, and I know it's not intentional. I know that you're not meaning to, but I'm telling you where this is headed.
I was in class, and there was these specific girls. There was 5 of them, and they were just talking, and I heard my boyfriend's name. Oh, he's like in love with me, and he said this about me, and looked over and started giggling at me to see if I was listening. I could just hear him constantly giggling and talking and just keep provoking. And as soon as I got out of class, I waited out there. And one girl came out, looked at me, and ran. Let's go. And this girl I'd already had a problem with. I was like, is that all you do is talk about this family? I'm like, is that all you can do? She was like, shut the fuck up. Everything in me just went off. And I should have went to go talk to someone, but I didn't. And then I just hit her. Like, it was the first time I've ever actually wanted to, like, hurt someone. But while I was doing it, I was like, what am I doing?
It's very concerning for me to see that they're constantly kind of in these little arguments or crying somewhere or conflict somewhere else. Even the last fight she was in, he said, the girl that she fought's right down the stairs. She wants to say something to you. And Kelsey's response was, well, if she wanted to say something to me, she would have. And he's like, well, then she's right down there. Let's go out. Well, why are you taking someone that you love and care and throwing them to the fire? I mean, I don't understand this concept. I look at Kelsey, and as bad as she was, using, she seems more miserable to me now than she did then. I mean, you substituted meth for an unhealthy relationship. You went from one addiction to the next.
She doesn't seem, she seems sadder. More sad.
Attendance.
Bad. Yeah.
Well, Gustavo and Kelsey have been having some relationship problems, even though that's not our responsibility. Had gotten to the point where they get calls that they were out of class again. So I finally brought them in and just had to share, bottom line. We've got the health center for counseling. You got before school, lunch. That's the time to take care of any problem that you have. But as far as leaving class, we're at the point now that that's not an option. Ask them to take care of it.
Yeah, I'm working on this.
It's still holding them accountable. They still have to deal with the consequences. But they're still loved and accepted.
For a lot of these kids, that chaos is comfort zone because it's so familiar. And it's so hard to ask a lot of these kids to trust you enough to step out of their comfort zone and try something new that you may not see the reward instantly, but it's there. And you just got to give me enough trust to get you to that point.
We gave each other space. We don't hang out every day like we used to. But I just really want to be able to talk things out with him. I don't want the screaming, I don't want the yelling. It really takes its toll on your life.
Have that kind of anguish inside. So.
It's encouraging for me to see that they've stopped at a point where you're able to intervene before you get to that level of violence and complete control.
So this high school has a counseling center on site.
Those conversations with them, so it's not just, Brooke's kind of crazy, she just says weird shit. I hope it's coming from a lot of different angles so that they put more value into, I like Gordon and I like Score Leader and all these guys are saying that.
What's that?
You said they have a conference every Sunday?
They do, yep. So that's what they're talking about here where they go to. Kind of like what we have across the street, but this is in high school, which is pretty good.
Too, it's not just a chick telling me, it's guys saying it's not okay. It's really not okay to feel that way, and it's not okay to control. That conversation needs to happen.
Last week, Steven walked into school
What's up?
What's up, man? And see this look on his face, and he had this letter to hand me, and I was in the middle of talking to people, and I know what that college envelope looks like, right? That letter of acceptance. I was like, is this what I think it is? Just like, it's sort of like crying in the middle of the hall, and I could see it in his face. All of a sudden, this is not theory. This is reality, that this could happen, that I could be this person, do this to college. That in itself has sent him into this total tailspin.
Oh, look how beautiful these flowers are and how shitty the day is. Terrible day.
Of course, his coping mechanism is every night drinking a ton, smoking a ton.
So now we know actually going to college other not so. I've thought about it not even like being worth it, but
Hello.
it's like
How's it going?
whatever. I just need to do something, I guess. I'll figure it out.
Does anyone have any questions on this? You guys have all done in one round this for the most part, right?
Stephen has gone AWOL from school, kind of, right now. What's going on? I kind of want to shake him. Just want to grab him and shake him. So, yeah.